Turkey will hold its presidential runoff election on Sunday. This comes 2 weeks after voters failed to choose a leader during the national election. Neither the incumbent President Recep Tayyip Erdogan nor his opponent gained enough votes to meet the 50% threshold. Erdogan, who has been in power for 20 years, has been criticized over the country's inflation and his growing distance from NATO allies. His challenger has taken a more aggressive nationalistic stance by vowing to send all refugees in Turkey back to their countries if elected. For more on this, let's bring in Demir Murat Seyrek. He's an adjunct professor at the Brussels School of Governance. All right, Demir, despite the economic turmoil in the country and the ramifications of the earthquake, Erdogan is still coming out ahead of his opponent. This was thought by the opposition as their one big chance to take him out, all these different parties unified to try to have a run at him. How did he still manage to, what it looks like is going to be, pull out a victory?
Well, it's certainly a big chance for the opposition, but also we need to understand that to a certain extent we are talking about free elections here, but we are not really talking about a fair playing ground. The Erdogan side has been using very effectively the entire state machinery, also the mainstream media. So it is very difficult for the opposition side to campaign. So that's why, I mean, we are not talking about a fair race. And even then, this goes to the second round. And President Erdogan maintains a lead, according to different polls today, 51 to 49 or 52 to 48%. But I believe that the presidential election in Turkey is far from over yet. The presidential candidate, the opposition's candidate, Kılıçdaroğlu, still holds a viable chance. Actually, Turkey's political landscape resembles a roller coaster ride these days, with breaking news constantly emerging. So while Erdogan is still ahead, Kılıçdaroğlu's prospects have improved also in the last 2 days. The one news about the backing of Turkish nationalists and the Kurds. And this actually requires a very delicate balancing act. It's actually almost a mission impossible in Turkey to get support from both Turkish nationalists and from Kurds. But he seems to be managing it. And another important development was surprisingly a YouTube show. 2 days ago, Kılıçdaroğlu made an appearance on a popular YouTube show where he engaged with young people for an impressive 4.5-hour debate. The video has gained nearly 22 million views so far, and it's really a remarkable figure. No one was expecting this because we are talking about the long political content, but young people are watching it. And this includes also the Erdogan supporters. So this has created a new channel for the opposition to reach out to voters as well. So it's not going to be easy for the opposition, but we should also note that no matter what the result will be, around 50% of the country ask for change, and what they want is more liberal democratic system. So I believe that it's impossible to reverse this trend, even if Erdogan wins on Sunday. I mean, Turkey is certainly less democratic compared to 10, 15 years ago, but we are talking about a country where opposition parties are strong, civil society is vibrant, and hundreds of thousands of people are volunteering even for election security. We expect up to 500,000 volunteers on Sunday, and I believe that this tells a lot.
So that's interesting. So because Erdogan has the kind of monopoly over the mainstream media, there's a grassroots campaign coming from the opposition that it sounds like it's not, you shouldn't count them out quite yet ahead of Sunday. The other thing I want to ask you about is Sweden and their bid to join NATO, which is still being blocked by Turkey and Hungary. How do we think the results of this election could impact the alliance? Is one candidate more likely than the other to allow this to go forward? Or do you think Erdogan, if he is reelected, will feel more secure and will be more willing to negotiate on this topic?
I believe that we will see progress in any case. I mean, first of all, let's start with the facts. Turkey has some legitimate concerns. There are changes in Sweden, and we will need to see some implementation as well. But the problem about Turkey's veto is about the way Erdogan's government has been managing it. Turkey could be using a different language. Political and diplomatic channels could be used also more effectively. Moreover, problems in Turkey in terms of democracy and rule of law make counterterrorism cooperation between Sweden and Turkey very complicated. There is a potential for progress, though, especially following the elections, which could introduce new dynamics. In the event of an opposition victory, obviously, things could become easier as they would like to utilize diplomatic channels more effectively. as they would like to go back to democracy and they would like to strengthen rule of law and fundamental rights so they can facilitate this cooperation. If Erdogan is re-elected, we can still expect progress, but this will depend on more Turkish-American relations as well, because Erdogan has expectations from the United States, including the modernization of F-16s and other tangible cooperation with the US.
All right, Demir Murat Seyrek, thank you so much.